okay and all that?
You sound great, dude.
All right, cool.
You sound great. Joe, great to meet you. I'm excited to talk to you about your pizza joint and the viral post that triggered a lot of people.
Oh
But
yeah.
first of all, I want you to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about your restaurant.
Sure. Yeah, my name's Joe. Together, me and my mom, we own St. Giuseppe's Pizza. I have two locations located in the Quad Cities, which is on the Mississippi River. And then we have a location in Comanche. I run that location for my mom. My dad started the business in 1997, and I've been working there. I've never known any other work. I've been working there since I was 3 years old. And my dad, he started the Comanche project. That was supposed to be where he was working, but he got cancer back in 2020, ended up passing away in 2021. And life shifts, and so here I am, running my mom's store, and I got some great workers that are running the East Moline and the Coal Valley location. They're doing a great job. We have a lot of pride in our work. We make our own dough, make our own sauce, make our own pork sausage, all sorts of stuff, and we've employed hundreds, if not thousands of people, over the course of 26 years, I think it is now. But yeah, big family we have. I come from a family of 10 kids. I'm number 4 out of the 10 kids. My oldest brother, he's 37. My youngest brother, Tony, he's 13. We're all about family, all about life, all about, tradition. And, sometimes that can get expressed through our business. So.
Mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about there was a viral post, I think just 5 days ago,
Yep.
where you guys posted a picture of one of your pizzas, and
Yep.
you asked how many genders are there.
Yeah.
So tell us about why you guys did that post, and maybe a little bit about the reaction, and I noticed you guys had a follow-up post where you actually showed the amount of engagement this post garnered with $0 put into it.
Yeah,
and you advertise your marketing services.
Yeah.
Tell us about that post.
Well, I learned that edgy marketing can be super beneficial to your business a while back when we were having a slower night. Comanche, where we're at, it's a small town, and we're not on the best side of town as far as traffic goes, and sometimes we can have slow nights. And we were having a slower night, and I was like, just kind of annoyed. I'm like, gosh, I post great deals, all this stuff. I'm gonna try something. And there's this pizza place in Clinton that I would call a bit of a sacred cow. Clinton's right next to Comanche. So a sacred cow is just something where it's like, hey, you leave this alone. Don't talk about them. Don't make fun of them, all this and that. And I put up a picture of our pizza, this pizza place, it's called Vitali's. And I put up a picture of our pizza, and I just put better than Vitali's. And I spelled Vitali's wrong on purpose. And this post was the best performing post we had ever had. It got a lot of hate, got a lot of engagement. It got a lot of people saying, like, I don't see the hate. I mean, they're competitors, guys. Like, this is Pepsi does it, Coke does it, everybody wants to. And then of course people were saying, how dare you rip on a small business? Like, I go by that place almost every night on my way home, and they've always got a full parking lot, and so it's like, they're clearly doing a good business. I'm not hurting anybody by saying we're better than them. They can only hurt themselves. And so anyway, the engagement on this was just absolutely wild. And so I tried that a few more times, and it kind of lost traction, and so this past Monday, I was at the gym, and I was wanting to put up another post. I was at the gym and I was feeling I was having a good day at the gym and I was feeling a little squirrely, and I just we all have our beliefs, you know, and obviously, you know, I believe there's only two genders, and so I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put up a post, and it's going to be our pizza, and then how many genders are there? And the people that comment two, I'm going to message them a free small pizza. And so we start getting comments two, and then because Comanche is a small town, and it's I would consider Comanche to be a based community. Lots of really good people there who understand God's creation, and you know, and how there is only two genders, and lots of people from Comanche commenting two. Well, it turns out that there's a couple people in Comanche who disagreed with two, and they say, why are you privately responding to all the people saying two? And they ended up finding out why. And so with the transgender gender fluidity movement, they have a pretty wide internet network, and they can spread you know,
Wow.
pretty rapidly. You know, they share it, they comment, you know, and all this and that. And what they forget is that they're exposing my pizza, my business to going on. We're about to hit we're very close to having reached 1 million people this week without having spent any money. This would have cost me like $100,000. Anyway, and so anyway, at first we started losing Facebook likes. You know, people saying like, you shouldn't engage in politics, blah, blah, blah. It's like, this isn't politics, guys. It's a simple post, you know, and if they don't understand that, that's okay. When I lose Facebook likes, that doesn't mean I lose business. I just lose Facebook likes. But anyway, and I got a little nervous because we only had like 2,400 or 20, it was like 2,420 or something like that. And we went down to like 2,397. And then it was like 5 hours. It was like 5 hours into the post. I noticed an uptick. It went up by like 40. And I'm like, uh-oh. And then all of a sudden it goes up 100, you know, and like, I'm looking at my brother Sam, we're working. I'm like, dude, we're up 300 likes today. Like, what is going on here? You know, and I was worried that it was the people who don't like me. And but then I started to see a type of engagement like, hey man, keep up the good work. Your post reached, you know, Wisconsin. Keep doing what you're doing, keep fighting the good fight, all this. And then there'd be another comment. Hey, I'm up in Canada, you know, so on and so. And we're reaching people from the UK, from Ireland, from Australia. There was one guy from Portugal. You know, all over the world, you know, and so anyway, this
for your tiny little pizza joint in Iowa.
Yeah, tiny little town, tiny little pizza joint, and what's so great is every post after this, we've made some regular pizza posts since then, you know, talking about our deals or whatever. But it's like all of a sudden now when we post a deal, instead of getting 6 likes, we're getting 190. Or 500, you know, and we've since started a Twitter. We've been advertising our Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, you know, where we're putting up, you know, funny but true content. We're trying to build our YouTube presence because we have. I've been doing this a long time. I've you know, and I always come up with like hilarious ideas that, like, you know, let's just say I would like to. You know, move forward with these ideas on YouTube, you know, funny videos and stuff like that have to do with pizza. And so, yeah, now we're building up our YouTube presence. It's not quite that strong yet. I think we've got like 100 and some odd subscribers. But yeah, you know, it's just turned into a really cool thing. And I'm getting so much, I mean, people from all over the country, Rhode Island, New Mexico are placing orders now, supporting our business. We had a fake order placed for $72. And I'm not one to ask for money for like free or whatever. But I said, you know what? I'm getting this money. I'm not going to let these guys win. The devil's laughing right now. And so I'm going to start a GoFundMe for $72. And and the money, we raised that $72 in like 10 minutes. And now it's up close. I think it's over $700 now. All of the money over the original $72 is now going to be donated to the Women's Choice Center in Bettendorf. They help women who are in crisis pregnancies. They don't provide any kind of contraceptives or abortions or anything close to that. They are a pro-life organization. They help women with ultrasounds and any kind of medical assistance, that kind of thing. And they also help families that are like, need affordable health care, not health insurance, but like, if your toddler has like a skin rash or something, I think they charge like $90 a month and you can go see them anytime or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty cool what they're doing over there. So that's where the money's going. And it's just super cool to see that their wicked ways and their attacks have now played out to be something super positive, and that's been super motivating. The message, I barely, like, I've been doing my best to respond to all of the positive messages, and I can't keep up. I mean, people are just sending us, it's just so awesome. Like, and now we have, we're going to be creating an online spot where people will be able to order shirts, and we'll be shipping shirts out all over the country with our logo on it. So that's pretty cool, because people want them. So I'm like, okay, we'll get them out to you. It'll take a little bit of time here.
I'll buy one.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I want to make sure the shirts are quality and something that's going to last, more than a couple years, so it seems like a lot of these guys out there, they come out with a grift, we'll call it. And, they sell these shirts for $40 and then you get the shirt and it's like, the heck, this ain't quality. This thing's like, garbage.
Like a rag.
Yeah, exactly. It ends up being a rag. Yep, exactly. But yeah, so far,
Joe, tell me a little bit about, the people that actually inadvertently made this viral were the people that were against your belief and our shared belief that there are two genders, right? So it was really that let's call it the woke side that really drove this engagement for you. I think a lot of them were trying to use, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think a lot of them were trying to do this and target your business and your posts because of the Bud Light backlash. So I wanted to hear your thoughts about maybe the reasoning behind their mob coming after you, and also why it ultimately failed in achieving helping you.
Yeah, I'm gonna move inside here where I'm closer to the internet here. We got a little connection. You still hear me and see me okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Sorry,
there may be just a little bit of a delay, but I've been hearing you just fine.
Okay. Could you touch up on that question one more time? I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Can you hear me fine now? Or is the connection still kind of
it's good
spotty? Okay. Okay. Let's call it the woke mob came after you and tried to basically cancel you, right?
Yeah.
And but they were the ones that inadvertently created the virality of this post and then ultimately helped your bottom line. So why do you think they failed? And I personally think, and correct me if I'm wrong, it has to do with what they saw conservatives do with the Bud Light backlash. And actually, that was effective when conservatives got together and basically hurt Bud Light. But I think they were now trying to do that with a small business. Why do you think that they failed? And what are your thoughts around what they were trying to do and their intent?
So you could read the book of Proverbs and find out exactly why they failed. God does not let the wicked win, and it was actually an amazing thing. There was one night, our Google reviews, we had gotten over 100 one-star Google reviews, and the first reviews I saw being removed were 5-star reviews saying, this is a based place, ultra Christian, whatever. And I'm like, dang it, Google's removing our good reviews that are coming in. But then, so what I was gonna do is because I don't worship Google, I don't worship Facebook. We can get by just fine without those guys. I don't care about my reviews. I care about my customers and whether or not they enjoy my pizza, and we work very hard to please our customers. And so I don't care. I mean, that's where my heart is. And if I get a bad review, I do what I can to make it right. And sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Sometimes people just don't like our pizza. They prefer garbage, so but anyway, but it was really cool because I was about to make a post telling people, guys, please start leaving us as many 1-star reviews as possible. If you've already left a 5-star review in the past, change it to a 1-star review. We are going to be the number 1-star pizza place on Google, and but right when I was about to do that, I went and checked to see what our reviews are at, and Google had removed all the 1-star reviews that had come in the past 72 hours.
Oh, wow.
And and I think that's in Google's best interest, because what I was about to do is show that there's no credibility with Google if the mob can come after you and just bomb your reviews. That wouldn't be good for business. All of a sudden, now any business that has any beliefs that are in any way Christian are going to say, screw you, Google, we're not listing our business with you guys, we're not spending money advertising with you. So I think that we are most definitely winning this thing. It's been, I'm not kidding, like my wife could tell you, this is like the happiest I've been in a while. I mean, I'm just like, I consider myself to be a happy guy anyway, but I mean, I haven't been able to sleep at night because I'm so like thrilled, I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are so awesome. It's almost like your every day is Christmas or something, but anyway, the big thing about this though is so yesterday, for example, this is all about whenever I think the reason we're winning here is because anytime that I have any bit of struggle with this situation that's taken place, what do? I pray for my enemies, say, God, please bless these people, please show them the light, please, do something, because these guys, man, they're like, they're in trouble. And there's a prayer in the rosary that I don't remember what the prayer is called exactly. I listen to the rosary when I'm at the gym, but there's a prayer in between the decades, and one of the lines is oh gosh, bear with me here. It says, lead all souls to heaven, especially those most in need of thy mercy. And man, that hits so hard, because, and believe me, I'm in need of mercy too. I'm a sinner, just as much as anybody else. But these folks, man, they really need mercy. It's, sorry.
Yeah, some of their comments were just so over the top. I mean, a lot of them started attacking the way you cut your pizza or the aesthetics of your pizza. I mean, address some of that. I'm confused as to, the type of, and they're the ones that are most preachy about hate, right? No hate, this and that. But yet I saw that because I went through like literally hundreds and hundreds of comments just for my own education about what the people are saying. Obviously, I saw a lot of support for you guys, and that's why I kind of knew that. I think in the end, even though they got all of their mob onto your posts, that was not enough, because most people are actually of the belief that there are just two genders. There really is. I mean, you can call yourself whatever you want. It doesn't make you that, but all the community, the woke mob that tried to come after you was eventually overwhelmed by we the people, the everyday person, right? But I was reading the quality of the woke mob's comments, and they really just made it unnecessarily personal, when your question to start with was just a question: how many genders are there?
Yeah, they can.
So it's amazing. Where do you think all of that comes from? I mean, it just felt so childish and so off left field to go after the way you cut your pizza. And I liked one response from one of your supporters. They said, this is definitely the traditional way to cut pizza in Iowa. So it made it localized, and but they were kind of trying to question your legitimacy there. But I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, there's a line I heard in a video, and it's offend the mind, reveal the heart. And so all these comments on my pizza, talking trash on my pizza, is only because they're offended, and their hearts are now showing. Their hatred is now showing. And one of the best things about this whole thing is I was attacked a couple years ago. For a number of reasons. It was during the COVID years, and somehow I ended up being labeled a Nazi and a racist and all this crazy stuff. And one of the best parts about this is that, like, I gain knowledge from these attacks. I gain, perspective and all this stuff. It's like, clearly I'm not a Nazi and I'm not a racist. But what's so awesome is there's two cultures who I'm noticing an abundant amount of support from as customers. Black people and Mexican people, and it's because their cultures don't tolerate this crap. I've been getting a ton of phone calls and support, and it's so funny how this is all backfiring now, because now we have more Black customers and more Mexican customers coming in and finding out this guy's great, he's not a racist. So now it's being revealed that not only is there only two genders, but I'm also not a racist now, so it's a pretty cool thing that their lies and all of that have been, they're unwinding, and I'm sorry, what was the question again? I kind of went on a tangent there.
No, I think you touched upon that, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on how this is similar or different to the Bud Light blow up recently.
Yeah, what I've come to realize, that whenever you start talking about the big woke companies and then the conservative news outlets, is that in a lot of ways it's so hard for me to interpret, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Because overall, I think Anheuser-Busch is a trash company anyways. They don't make any quality products. When I drink a beer, I prefer it to be something that tastes good, and I don't know, like something that's more local. Not that I drink all the time, but yeah, they did what they did, and that's what they do because these guys, they have investors like BlackRock, that Larry Fink guy. He has a standard or what have you, where it's like, you're not going to get our money invested in your company unless you support this ideology. And these guys, they think they run things, we run things, and eventually they will lose everything they have, because they are wicked, and once again, go through Proverbs, you'll find out whether it be tomorrow or in the next 50 years, it will come to an end. And, but yeah, the Bud Light, a lot of it was funny, I think it was Kid Rock, he had an automatic machine gun, shooting up a bunch of Bud
And
Lights.
Travis Tritt.
Yeah, Travis Tritt, yep. And but yeah, I think that it's just always hard to tell, like, because I've always noticed that the conservative news networks are always kind of in a really weird way. They're like, they'll go on and talk about, look at guys, the transgender ideology is now in the schools. Aren't you mad now? Aren't you mad? And it's almost like they're advertising it. And it's like, I'm not gonna get mad. I'm gonna speak my mind and work as hard as I possibly can and live my life and love my kids and my wife and all this and that. I'm not gonna go around like, Tucker Carlson. So this is America? No, it's not. It's not America. Like what they're doing is not America. What St. Giuseppe's is doing is America. And it's, I don't think it's ever been easy to speak your mind, but yet people are so scared. They're so scared to speak their mind, like, because what they've done is I think COVID has a lot to do with this. A lot of people were afraid to speak up about COVID because people's grandparents were dying. But the thing is they've increased the amount of fear, and now people won't talk, and especially the kids. When I first put up this post, my brothers and sisters, my younger ones, they go to a Catholic grade school, and they came in terrified. They're like, Joe, we're gonna get such bad grades now. I'm like, don't you guys go to a Catholic grade school? Yeah, but our teachers, like, they don't agree with it. I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense, So anyway, so now I'm realizing, like, oh crap, like now we really have to go hard, because like we cannot have, teachers are a huge influence on kids. Like my grade school teachers, like they were some of I mean, they're partially raising the kids, you know what I mean? These kids are at school 7-8 hours a day, and these kids can't be being told that they can have gender fluidity. That's insane, and I feel like now the scariest part about that is that now kids, they might be missing out on things that they should be learning. Like, I have 16-year-old employees. I ask them, how many days are in a year? They don't know. They don't know.
Wow.
How many weeks are in a year? They don't know.
But they know all the multiple genders.
I'm going like, and
made up genders.
I don't have the time to do the experiment, but I would love to see somebody go around and ask a bunch of 16-year-old kids, how many weeks are in a year? You're not going to get a correct answer probably 80% of the time. That's if they're, in the in any kind of public or private school system. Homeschooled kids are great. They, they're being schooled by their parents, their parents.
Colleges are realizing that they're getting more talent out of homeschools than they are from the public schools, especially because the public schools are now like a funnel for indoctrination, is what it is for a lot of these woke ideologies, especially in states like mine. I'm in California. It's awful.
Sure. What's funny is, like, there's a public school I drive by on my way to work, and sometimes I hit the out of school traffic, and I'm stopped by the crossing guard, and I watch the school buses pulling out, and it's like the same thing as a bunch of semis pulling out of a meat factory. You know what I'm saying? Like, these school buses pulling out, it's like you're watching it, and it's like I don't know how to explain it, but like when I think about what's going on in that school, and it's like, this is a system. Like they're putting all these kids in and taking them out every day, and they're being indoctrinated to think things that are just absolutely godless, absolutely not true.
So what's the solution, Joe? How do we get back to us all functioning the way it used to be? And, my personal belief is things were good, and now they're trying to stoke division. They're trying to stoke us to turn on each other, like what we saw on, the people that came after you. And
Yeah.
what I'm also seeing, and I think you mentioned it, is that a lot of people that supported you are not necessarily conservatives. They're
No.
people that just saw human decency, and they're not the strange people that are, saying all the stuff and making it personal. And that was just a small minority. So how do we get us talking? Because you're saying, yeah, I completely agree with you. We all need to speak our beliefs in a manner that's civil, and agree to disagree, and and be a functional society again. How do we get to that point?
So the big thing is just not being scared to talk and speak your mind, and not having fear when they call you a bigot, when they call you a Nazi. When, are you going to be scared if somebody tells you, hey, everybody, this guy pooped his pants, and you didn't poop your pants? Are you scared? Like, I didn't poop my pants. I'm not a Nazi. I mean, I will say the definition of bigot is like, remaining true to ancient beliefs or something like that. So, I mean, considering that the teachings of Jesus Christ are now 2,000 years old, I think I am quite a bigot. But as far as Nazi, and well, I think the big thing here too is don't hate these people. Prayer is definitely, I take that back. Prayer is the number one thing. Is like it doesn't have to be this, get on the kneelers and pray some prayer. It could be as simple as like, God, please help my enemies. Show them the way, show them the light. And it can be while you're working. It can be anytime. That you don't even have to do the sign of the cross. I mean, that's preferred, but you can pray anytime. But then after that, parents with kids, I see a lot of really good people, their kids go to college, and these kids come out crazy, forgetting everything their parents ever raised them to be. It's such a sad thing to see. It's heartbreaking. I've seen, really strong guys, really awesome girls go to college, and they come out, just totally distorted. But yeah, so I think the big thing is with the parents, and look, and with any situation is like, they call us intolerant. We aren't supposed to tolerate these things. And when I say that, I'm not talking about people, but I'm talking about, if your kids are going to school and coming back educated about gender fluidity, go to the school. Hey, this is a problem. We're going to take our kids out of the school. We need every single parents aren't doing this. We need every single parent. Like my kids personally, they're not going to public school. I don't think they're even going to private school unless I find a really good one that isn't going to flush them out with, all this crazy nonsense. But yeah, so homeschool, that's another thing. But another thing too is like, if you own a business, don't make it political. It's okay to say there's only two genders. It's very simple. I would say the false binary of people keep saying I'm MAGA, I'm Trump, I'm this. It's like, guys, that stuff is like way beneath me. I mean, I'm almost tempted to say, like, don't waste your energy on the red blue. Focus on the issues that are actually destroying society. Stop watching porn. Like porn is like so bad. It's like what, 80% of the internet? Like, what's that mean? It means that like 80, it means a tremendous amount of porn is being watched. That's the big thing. I think that's probably one of the leading causes of this society downturn is that, and believe me, I was a porn addict for like 6 years. I haven't watched porn and it's been a long time. I think it's been like 7 years now. But and I can tell you right now, like since I was able to rid myself of that. Oh my God, my life is so much better. Like I'm able to actually like love my wife, and look at her in a way that's a gift from God, and I think that's the big thing, guys, is that yeah, just stop watching porn. I think that's like one of the big things. Um, but gosh, I'm trying to think of anything else. And it's never too late to like give Christianity a try. Like even if you do consider yourself to be Christian, but you're not practicing, like it can do wonders if you just like, I tell everybody, like if you haven't read the Bible, and believe me, I haven't read the entire Bible, but one of my favorite books is Proverbs. I tell people start there. It's like a bunch of fortune cookie lines. It's awesome. You gain so much wisdom from that. About work, about life, about what's right and wrong. And you can really figure out like how to live a better life just from that book alone. you know um but uh but yeah, I wouldn't, there's so
So you're
many.
unique in that aspect, Joe. You
What's that?
you are a person that is running a business, but you are very vocal about your religious beliefs, and also your cultural beliefs and
Yeah.
things. And you had a lot of criticism from these people saying you should just stick to making pizza.
Oh
What's
yeah.
your response to that?
My life would be completely meaningless, and I would hate making pizzas if that was the case. It's like, that would just be, a baseball player should just stick to playing baseball. Like look at all of the athletes that have stood up to, like, the COVID vaccine and stuff like that. Like these guys are more popular than ever, and things have been working out for them just fine. We're supposed to speak up, when something is infringing on, when the wicked doers are at work, we have to speak up, and what's funny about all this is that original post, I wasn't expecting that to escape a 10-mile radius. I really wasn't. I was just wanting to send people free pizza and market my business. And now it's turned into something like, oh crap, there's like, this is like I didn't realize how big of a problem it was until, like, you know what I'm saying? Like until it went viral. I'm like, oh crap, there's a lot of people that are like, really
Including in other countries, because this woke stuff's happening in Australia, in Europe, and
not
people are getting
Uganda.
fed up. It seems we the people are tired of it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We the people are tired of it, and that you became a vessel for that.
I'm
Inadvertently. So
yeah, and gosh, I've been praying about this, like, man, like I really hope that this leads to other people, other businesses, like, not standing for it. When I go into Best Buy and they have LGBTQ propaganda propped up at their little phone desk or whatever, like, if they get to push it down our throats, like that, like if I can't even buy a phone without like let's say I have kids that are, well, I have two kids, but let's say I have like a 7-year-old, and mine are 18 months and 2 months. But let's say I got a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I walk into Best Buy, to buy a phone cord or something, and then they see that crap, well, what's that mean? Stop exposing my kids to this garbage. It's just absolutely insanity. So if they're going to get to do it and get away with it, the thing is like us Christian people, we're not actually haters. If we were, I'd be walking into Best Buy saying, get that crap out of, you know what I mean? But like, isn't it how like I do that? Like, yeah, they do that to me when I say, hey, there's only two genders, it's just, it's crazy. But yeah.
So I like that. I like that. What's good for the goose should be good for the gander, right? Because
Yeah.
I would love. I think your pizza joint could be a place where your beliefs, your unique beliefs, can be out there, for good or for bad. Whether it turns off customers or brings them in, I think you're going to ultimately bring more people in by being you and being who you are. What are you going to do to have that equivalent of the LGBT pop-up at Best Buy? Because I would love to hear your plans for, I know you got a t-shirt line coming up. What are you going to do in your restaurants to proudly display your beliefs?
So it's kind of funny because there is a line to walk here, and it's not that I'm afraid to express beliefs, but like our East Moline location, we have crucifixes up. We've got a statue of Saint Joseph up. We've got all this cool stuff up that exposes people to the faith, I suppose. But my business does make pizzas, and when people come in to get a pizza, I suppose when I am working making pizzas, my focus is the pizza. But as far as social media goes and all that stuff, look at Burger King. It's like when you go to Burger King, you don't think about their Twitter. Yet their Twitter is like funny. It's like this or that, so like it's almost like our internet presence. So like it's like there's these pillars where we have our business. This is how we make money. And then we have our online presence. This is how we express who we are. I was thinking about like little stupid things like getting a sign put up on the wall. It says there's only two genders, but I'm not afraid to do that. But at the same time, you shouldn't.
Is it the time and place?
Right. And you shouldn't even have to put that sign up, because it's like that would infer that there's people who think otherwise. Like it'd be like putting up a sign that says 1 + 1 = 2. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put up a sign that says 1 + 1 = 2. And then when people ask about it, I could be like, oh, it's a reference to gender. There's only two genders, something like that. But yeah, because there are folks who are worn out and tired of like, there's some folks that go at this stuff all day and they just want to get a pizza, maybe they're working all day and like there's people who work at big corporations who are being forced to use pronouns. And then if they were to come and see that there's only two genders, oh God, I genuinely don't want to make anybody upset when they're getting a pizza. I'm not afraid to have people get mad at me for disagreeing, but it's just like there are people out there who just kind of like, they believe the same things that I do, but they just kind of they want to get a pizza, And another thing too is what's your pronoun? How they say that? What's your proverb? Your proverb is what I call it. Your proverb. I came up with that a little bit ago, but yeah, but believe me, like we are not like, as far as inside the business goes, like we might do a couple of things, maybe put up some proverb signs or something like that. I have no problem expressing the Bible or any of Jesus's teachings inside my restaurant, but cultural type things, you can do all of that work with the Bible. You can do that with a Bible verse, but because this is a spiritual war. This is a war versus good and evil. And the Bible, it's the living word, and it applies every day. And I think that might be the route to go, is just pictures of our family, showing what the beauty of family looks like. We have pictures of our family in the Comanche restaurant. It's my dad, my mom, and then all 10 kids, and then all of the nieces and nephews, and it's a beautiful picture. I'll have to end up posting that online sometime. But I think that says everything about our business. Like this is what real wealth looks like. It's what real success looks like. The average age of my entire family, from my mom on down, she's like 57. I think the last time I calculated it, it was like 15.1. The average age in America right now is like 38 or something like that, so But yeah, I'd say we're winning as
You're
long.
keeping America alive.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is like these
Absolutely.
these LGBTQ people, more specifically the T people, they're not reproducing, which is awesome news, you know. But that makes it so that's really important for young men and women who are, you know, of mutual beliefs, as far as Christianity goes. Get married, have kids, you know, don't fear that, you know. And have as many kids as you possibly can. You know, you're not going to go wrong, you know. But yeah, you know, this has all been a lot of fun. So
Yeah. I love it. Any final words? Maybe plug your website, plug your social media. Any final thoughts? Thanks for taking the time, Joe. And I want to get the word out, especially on this story, but also on your great establishment.
yeah, you know, I'll admit we actually have a lot of work to do on our website, but online ordering is available at heavenly.pizza. You can follow us on Facebook at any three. We have 3 separate pages for our 3 separate locations, and it's spelt out Saint Giuseppe's, Giuseppes. On Twitter, we're St. G's Pizza. But yeah, well, there'll be more to come out here, like I said, with the online store with the shirts and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, it's awesome that more people are following us and supporting us, and you know, it's just been an amazing thing, and I'm so happy, you know, that because this did start as a thing where I felt like I did the wrong thing, you know, not the wrong thing, but like I was like, oh crap, what did I do? But now I'm like, yes, like, you know, like we're winning, guys. You know, it's awesome. It's like going into battle with like, you know, like 300 or something. You know, like it's you're up against a very big thing, but at the end of the day, that big thing is worthless because it's wicked, you know, and it's gonna fail. You know, you can know that just by
It's a David and Goliath moment for.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But
Yeah. So thank you so much. And you know, I'm going to stop the recording now.
Sure
And
thing.
I'll catch up with you in just a second.
Awesome.